as Minister for FCT. And since you are our host, we are hosting here also our community, the diplomatic community, and also the European community. I found that it was my duty to come and introduce myself, the European Union, and the Team Europe to you. Shall I continue?
Continue.
I'm here actually since 2 years, so I also shall apologize for not visiting you in River State. This is something that we had planned together with the team so many times, and I still plan to. I visited just a few places in that region, but I'm very interested to go on a visit there. So mine today is just a courtesy visit, just to thank you and thank through you the Ministry of FCT for the support it provides to the international community and to us. We will have in a few days an important event, a milestone in the relations between Nigeria and the European Union. We will have the 8th edition of the Nigeria-European Union Ministerial Dialogue, which is something that is there, but for the first time, and we are very proud of this, we will have a high-level and large delegation coming from Brussels, from the European Union institutions, led by our high representative, that in our system is like a foreign minister plus defense minister, but who also is one of the vice presidents of the European Commission. And we will have 3 more commissioners that in our system are like ministers, in charge of international partnerships, in charge of crisis management and disaster management, and in charge of energy, together with other senior official colleagues. And since this will happen in the FCT, I wanted to inform you and thank you and your team in advance for the support that will be given for that visit. As European Union, as we know, we are a multi-dimensional partner of Nigeria. The European Union is Nigeria's first trading partner. The Nigerian's trade with Europe accounts for over 30% of its trade with the rest of the world. It's still 90% oil and gas, but we are convinced that there is a high potential for diversification. And for the European market, which is your closest market, a market of 400 million people, to become a market of interest for Nigeria and for other Nigerian products, for example, agricultural products. And one of the objectives of the meetings I was talking about is exactly to see how we can further boost cooperation to the benefit of our 2 entities and to the benefit of all our peoples. The European Union is also an important development partner of Nigeria. It's an important, please allow me to say, key top investor. We are mapping out for the first time the presence of companies, investments from the European Union to Nigeria. And we have a rough figure of over 300 that are already installed, mostly, of course, some on oil and gas, mostly also in the southern part, but also in the rest of the country. And we are also one of the key development partners of Nigeria. And we try in our development programs not to forget about the FCT. So we have some programs ongoing also in the FCT. But I know, the Honorable Minister, that you have big plans for the FCT and for Abuja. And we would be very much interested in hearing from you about these plans. As Ambassador of the European Union, I coordinate the group, a platform of the ambassadors of European Union member states. You may know that in Nigeria we have 19 European Union member states represented, which is a big number. Of course, we have the largest countries of Europe. We have Germany, we have France, we have Italy, we have Spain, we have Poland. But we also have all the Nordic countries. We also have almost all the countries from Eastern Europe, just as a testimony, as a confirmation of the importance of the country and the importance that we all attach as Europeans to our relations with Nigeria. So I will be delighted if you would accept my invitation to visit the group, or if you would invite us with the whole group of the 20 ambassadors of all the European Union member countries to pay a visit to you, just to reconfirm once again collectively the importance of the relations between Nigeria and Europe. We are neighbors. What happens in Europe is important to Nigeria, but also what happens to Nigeria has a direct impact on Europe. And I also would like to thank you and thank, through you, the team of your ministry, because my local staff, I have, I think, 40 or 50 local Nigerian colleagues that work hand in hand with us. They have received, at the request of the delegation, a plot of land in the extension of Maitama districts, Maitama 2, to build their own accommodation. So I would like to thank you and to thank the ministry. This is a sign of friendship, of attention that we appreciate. But as Oliver Twist says, if you do something, if you receive something, you ask for more. So I hope that this cooperation will continue, and that important project for the well-being of our staff, together with many other people, many other Nigerians are involved in that project. They will actually be able to benefit from it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Let me
Yes. I'll give you my card later.
Okay. Let me, on behalf of the Federal Capital Authority, welcome you to my office and also extend warm greetings to member states of the European Union. Before I forget, let me say that I will wholeheartedly be honored to invite their member countries to pay us a consequence for us to further interact and know which way we have to go. But let me say clearly that as I resume the office in FCT, we'll be able to identify problems we think we'll be able to handle easily, what we call a quick win, and then medium, and then long term. Mm-hmm. We are trying to, by the grace of God, bring FCT to what it's supposed to be, like cities of the world. In a sense, there's nowhere you can say that you cannot have one form of insecurity or one form of crime. And so for us here, it is our responsibility to partner and cooperate with particularly foreign diplomats who have their offices and residences in Abuja, to see that the environment is conducive for it to operate, to see that we have a viable economic relationship. I don't believe on mere, when I was governor, one of the things I would have said is that I don't believe in just mere visits. I want us to concretize whatever that we're going to do, not just coming to tell me, oh, we're here to partner with you, we're here to work with you. It's good. But at the end of the day, the people will want to see what are the achievements, which is for me a priority. You know that Abuja is one of the best cities you can get in terms of the facilities around. The landscape is beautiful. It's like a tourist area. It's like a cultural area. That these are areas we can partner with you sincerely. You know what I mean by sincerely. It is important. Maybe when we meet with the member countries, then it may become specific. Which of these countries can we deal with in terms of these areas of maybe agriculture, tourism, and maybe security, as the case may be. you also would have known that as part of what you have always preached for the Nigeria and other African nation is how to enhance the internal generated revenue to be able to cope with certain developmental projects. You must have also heard or seen that we may have published names of embassies that may not have fulfilled their obligation by paying the grand rents owed to the FCT. And I hope that I thought I should bring it to notice so that be able to also, maybe when they come, if the notice have not expired though, when they come, we'll be able to be specific to say, look, country A, this is what you are indebted to FCT. We hope we should be able to clear because we have a lot of things. What you can see now in the FCT, most of the constructions are going on now. Companies are back to work, unlike what used to be before. No. For us, it is a mandate by Mr. President that the Renew Hope agenda must be achieved, not just telling Nigerians that this is what we are going to do, but Nigerians are seeing it that we are doing it. Just like what is going on today in FCT. I hope you can appreciate and say, yes, that is correct. But I also want to use the opportunity, even though we are far that area, but I think that I sincerely do not agree with the European Union on their stand on the past election in Nigeria. I do solely take exceptions of their stand because, you see, we thought there's no need for you to interfere in Nigeria, rather to observe and make a recommendation. And the interference came when there were electoral tribunals going on. It's not that certain. We thought that, oh, you could have even, in fact, I'm surprised, like in River State. I asked, how many of you were in River State to visit the 6,886 or thereabout number of polling units? Sometimes you send 1 or 2 person. And I ask you, how do you go? How do you? So if you have seen some infractions in about 20 polling units, is that enough to make a general conclusion? And you said in River State that they did not allow opposition to campaign, which is totally not correct. Because if you saw, there was a law, and you always run away from these facts. You see, our laws cannot be a replica or the same thing with your own laws. Every law is based on the environment and the people. And the law that, look, if you want to have a public campaigns, you want to go to schools. If you destroy certain things in the school, who will replace it? Government will replace it. And therefore, you pay a certain deposit so that if there's any destruction, government will use that fund to repair. And you did not look at that area. All the judge looked, that they did not allow opposition to campaign, which is not correct. I just want to put that because that was, as a sitting governor, you are trying to indict me of not having, not allowing to have a free democratic process. That is not correct at all. But I felt I should bring it to that. For me, that's not the issue. For us here is how will you support us to grow? How will you support our economy to grow? What are your contributions to make us economically viable? These are the realities of ground in order to also have impactful life on our citizens. That is what I think the relationship, more or less, should be. But I will be glad if we meet with the member states of your union. Absolutely. And they will be able to have specifically areas of interest tied to the member states of region. But frankly speaking, it is our desire, it is our hope that we have a more robust relationship that will benefit the two parties.
Thank you.
I know that it is hard. It is time. The time I had in Nigeria, but again, you know, when a country is under this kind of situation, you take decisions that may not be too palatable with everybody, but it's a decision these are decisions that are required for the survival of the nation in the long run. So we believe that part of what you should also do is to look at the situation in Nigeria. What are the short-term decisions that you think that government may take that will improve, and long-term decisions, and then try to liaise with government It's very, very important. So, like I said, you're welcome. Like I said, we'll partner together. Like I said, we'll have a robustful relationship.
Thank you.
Welcome to FCT.
Thank you.
And thank you very much.
Can I react?
Yes, you can react.
Can I start from the report that you mentioned?
Yes.
That was the report. It was not my report. It was not the report of the European Union, but was the report of the European Union Election Observation Mission. That was an independent observation mission deployed by the European Union at the request of the Nigerian government. So I cannot comment on it because on their findings, because it's not really. But let me tell you that actually the purpose of that mission, as of many other missions, the European Union now just deployed an observation mission in Liberia, it deployed an observation mission in Sierra Leone, it deployed an observation mission, because actually the European Union is maybe the main organization in the world. And the objective is really to assess the process against international agreements, international treaties signed and ratified by Nigeria, but also against Nigerian law. In no way the purpose is to say whether the elections are legitimate or not, because that's not the purpose. And the purpose, as you said, is actually to analyze the process and offer recommendations. And this is what actually the mission did. They offered, if I'm not mistaken, it's 26 recommendations. That's the part of the report that I know best, for a very simple reason, because now I have the task, together with my team, to work with our Nigerian partners to see to what extent we can provide technical assistance, expertise, to address those issues on which I think we can all agree. Can I mention one of this that is very close to my heart? Okay. Women participations in politics, for example, or other, let's say, issues. We have a very good cooperation with INEC. We never stopped cooperating with INEC. And we already have an agreement with Professor Yakubu to continue our cooperation, also on the basis of the recommendation provided not only by the European observers, but by all observers. And this is something that the European Union has been doing since 1999. And I'm personally convinced that those recommendations, together with the recommendations of other observer missions, have helped strengthen Nigerian democracy. And from our side, we know how important Nigeria is and how important Nigerian democracy is, the largest democracy in Africa, especially against the current backdrop, the backdrop of the current situation in West Africa. So we know that Nigeria in that is an important model, and we want to continue working together. On the other areas of cooperation, let me reassure you that I hope what we are already doing is concrete. And I hope that if we meet with my colleagues and also my team, we will be able to explain what we are doing. We are more and more refocusing our cooperation towards agriculture. As you said and I said, Nigeria has a great potential in terms of diversification of its economy, and agriculture is a key sector in that regard. So that's why we are working through our cooperation programs to try to help develop and support some key value chains. Maybe we are not doing this in the FCT. We are working mostly in the north, in the northwest, and in some of the surrounding of the neighbor states of Nigeria, for example, Jos. We are working a lot towards energy transition through renewables. We are supporting, I think it's 10 or 12 states in developing mini grids system. So we have so many things that we are trying to do, exactly to try to do as much as possible, to help and do as much as possible what you said. What can we do that can have an impact on the life of the people, but also what can be done by partners to help Nigeria develop its economy and create jobs. On investments, as I said, through the mapping to the study that we have just concluded, we found out that actually we are, I cannot say the first, the second, or the third investor, but quite an important investor in Nigeria with 300 companies. And we will share with you because we have some findings also about the number of jobs created. But that's not enough. And as I said, we are convinced that the way to go is exactly to follow the priorities of the new administration, which is really to develop Nigeria economic potential, to diversify the economy, to develop trade. I mean, Europe is your neighbor. I think it's natural for Nigeria. It's more natural to trade with Europe than to trade with others, right? And we also are very much interested. So as I said, the meeting and the delegation that is coming next week, on top of this, we have, of course, peace and security. It's in our interest that the region and Nigeria are strong and stable, because otherwise, the impact will also be on us. Trade and investment, very much. And as I mentioned, energy and other issues. So concerning the plan of Abuja, I'm sure that with member states, we can complement each other. And if you have interest, for example, in establishing partnerships with cities or regions in Europe, the best way to go is actually through on issues that may be of interest to you, like waste management, you mentioned tourism, etc. Member states, I'm sure, will be interested in hearing from you about your plans and see as much as possible how we can be of help. So I thank you for our very frank discussion, and we'll try to arrange that meeting with the larger community. But the Honourable Minister, you can count on us. As I said, we are neighbors. Europe needs a strong and prosperous Nigeria, and we will continue to work together as much as possible, as much as you wish, to help Nigeria really develop its potential.
Well, let me thank you, because you raised the issue of women development, participation. And,
women is very,
I do know that, and that's why if you look at one of the priorities of Mr. President, he talks about inclusivity.
Yeah.
Not just where you have male-dominated, but it also have much more numbers of women who are participating, not only in terms of federality, but also from the states down to the federal. You can see more women are participating.
Yeah.
And also know that the First Lady, with the wife of the President, is also championing the development of women in terms of participating in governance. And that is why when I came here, there was no department, there was no secretariat that deals with women development. And so, I know Mr. President will approve it to create the establishment of women development in FCT, which was never there. No, there was no such, the secretariat that would say this is devoted to women, and I felt that was wrong. And to let you know that it is because the present government attaches so much importance of women, and that's why we're thinking that they should establish here. Now, you also talk about agriculture and the rest generally,
Yeah.
but I have always wondered.
Yeah.
You see, you talk about how the economy of Nigeria grow. What do we do for job creation? But what I've always wondered is, one, take for example, in FCT. Now, if member country A, who is very good in agriculture, and then comes to FCT, we want to partner with FCT, and they say, look, how do we partner? And the FCT said, look, we have large land.
Yeah.
We're able to, as part of our own equity, we are willing to give such land out, and then you are ready to take one or two cultural areas, and not just doing that, but also let's have a chain that in terms of processing.
Yeah.
I think, for example, you talk about Jos. If you go to Jos, like very arable land, very good weather, and then those can produce a lot of fruits, that orange or mango or apple, as the case may be. Now, you've not been able to say, Plateau State, can we partner with you and having a large-scale farm where we are going to set up all these fruits at the same time in processing, so that we reduce our foreign exchange of importing fruit juice, importing all kinds of things.
Absolutely.
That will also create employment, and then that will also reduce our foreign exchange
Absolutely.
the demand. These are the kind of things I would like. It's not just merely something that will not have so much impact. You know, we can give you okay, $2 million. And it's yes, it's good, but of what effect, impact can it create? So I also know too, it's also your own economic advantage that you not allow us to get this, so that we continue to import everything from your area. So these are the realistic things that we cannot run away from.
Yeah.
I do know that, because if in this partnership we are talking about, and we have been able to identify in which state has this partnership have helped in terms of creation of job, in terms of improving the economy of that state. I just want to know, for me, I'm a practical person. I want to see results, and I believe that when we meet, we'll be able to tell ourselves the simple truth, what we need in order to make us move forward, in order to help the economy to grow, in order to create employment. I think that is the basic thing
Absolutely.
for us. That is
Absolutely.
the basic thing for us.
Absolutely.
I appreciate when I see the invitation and the conference we are having, and I want to attend to it, and then also these
Thank you.
these member countries, the member states of the EU, coming, so we can have
With
a
pleasure.
roundtable discussion.
With pleasure.
Thank you
But
very
I want
much.
to reassure you, because what we are doing as European Union, but also with member states, of course, maybe at a scale that the country is also what it is. It's actually to identify value chains. We as European Union, we are supporting a few value chains. We are supporting tomato value chain. We are supporting the dairy sector, and member states are doing the same. So we will be happy to share with you what we are doing. And actually, last week we had a senior official visit in preparation for the big delegation that is coming next week, and we had a very important discussion with the Honourable Minister of Trade, where we really went through, what to do also to help Nigerian products to be sold in the European market. So we had exactly these discussions. What are the value chains that we can help develop, but also how can we help Nigerian products to respond to the standards that are necessary to export to foreign markets. The European market, our single market, is a market of 400 million consumers. It's a very difficult market in terms of quality standards, but it is also true that if you export to Europe, you can export everywhere in the world. So we discussed with the Ministry of Trade how we can also help understand our standards and develop our standards. So, and again, I hope we are confident that the meeting we will have next week, we will be able to go through all these issues and see together what are the actions that we can, undertake to go exactly in the direction that you wish. So the invitation for the meeting will have to come from the government and not from us. But of course, we will be more than happy. And for my colleagues, they are also involved on a bilateral basis in some of these sectors. For example, Netherlands is a very strong country on agriculture and food processing. They are also active on supporting some value chains. In JOS, Netherlands, for example, is very active. Other countries, Denmark, France, among others, are supporting the dairy sector. I attended together with former Governor Arufai in Kaduna, I think it was September, no, when was it? June? The inauguration of a farm in Kaduna State, that will produce a modern farm, that will produce milk for the community, and will also employ people from the community. So there are good stories that are the result of a good partnership between European partners. This is a European company from Denmark and Nigerian partners. And I think these stories show that it is possible. And it's our wish to multiply, that positive stories, and to also show potential investors that despite the challenges, this is a country that is worth considering for business. So, but let's continue our conversation together with my colleague. This visit was just my first one, and I really would like to thank you, and through you thank the ministry for the good support that we receive here as citizens of FCT. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you.